Hey everyone, welcome back to the Socially Awesome channel. Elise Smith here. I'm so excited to be bringing Liz to you today. Liz and I got to meet in person in Nashville this past September. We even got to hang out in the airport a little bit, have a couple drinks, and we really just got to know each other. And we have a lot in common because Liz, and she'll go into this so much more today, but has a passion for branding. And if you've been watching my channel, you know I also have a passion for branding. So welcome, Liz. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to get to spend time with you. We had so much fun in Nashville, especially in the airport.
We did. That airport was the bomb diggity, because I'm telling you, I was like, can I have one more Bloody Mary, please? But that's what happens when you have to wait a while and we miss our kids. So I am so excited. So tell me a little bit about what you do, who you serve. My audience is always learning from all the female entrepreneurs that I bring to the channel. So I'm excited for you to tell a little bit about what you're doing and how they can connect with you.
So I got started I really had a passion for marketing, like going through college. I found it that way, doing an internship, and I think it was my last semester of college. I realized, okay, if I add on marketing as a double major and I take like one class, I can get a double major in entrepreneurship and small business management and marketing. So that's what I did. And then kids in life happened, divorce happened, and I find myself, I'm like, okay, what do I do now as a stay-at-home mom? So I really fell back into it by running the marketing, branding, and tech side for a national nonprofit for the last 3.5 years. And so then I kind of just fell into like wanting to do this on my own for other people, for female entrepreneurs. And it's fun. It's fun to sit down and have a conversation and be on Zoom or on the phone with a female entrepreneur and like see things clicking for her and being like, hey, why don't you try this? Or what about this idea? And they're like, oh my God, that's genius. So it's just like I really love being creative, and that's how I get to express my creativeness.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you get to help people in the process, because a lot of my audience is in network marketing. And that's one thing that I serve all female entrepreneurs, but of course, most entrepreneurs also have multiple streams. And branding is so important for all entrepreneurs. And I love that you are able to help them with wherever they're at in their journey, whether it be a brick and mortar, a network marketing, or whatnot. You can help them brand to make sure that they're attracting their ideal clients. So that's very cool, which is kind of leading me into my next question. How did you get started with entrepreneurship? Because I know you said in college you already had intentions on being an entrepreneur if you got a degree in entrepreneurship. But are you in network marketing, and have you taken that and grown that into what you have now today? How did that get started?
So I have always wanted to be an entrepreneur ever since I was like a little kid. I would tell my dad, I'd be like, I'm going to do better than you in life. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And when I was little, so this is so bad. No judgment, please. My dad's friends would pay me at football games to go downstairs and get them sodas. So even from a young age, I was like, we're wheeling and dealing my dad's friends. And then when I got a little bit older, I'm in Florida and we live on the marsh. And I have said to my mother a million times, I am not sure what part of your brain was missing when you thought that this was a great idea. But I would climb into the marsh, walk to the golf course, which was like down and around the marsh when it was low tide, pick up golf balls, come back. We would clean them and we would go to the end of the street, right where the golf course came by, and we would sell them back to the golfers. I cannot tell you how many times.
That's genius. I'm intrigued.
I cannot tell you how many times we ran from snakes, and like I'm sure they were water moccasins.
Yes, that's insane.
As a mom now, I'm like, what were you thinking? But
right. Times were different.
Yes.
Times were different.
Yes, I know, right? I did go to school for entrepreneurship, and I've been in network marketing for about 6 years. Um, Couple different companies. I feel like it takes time to find what you really want. I really love two of them that I'm with now. They really hit my passions, and then the marketing. I love playing in Canva and being creative, and it just kind
Yeah.
of fell in my lap. And it was one of those things that after my divorce, I sat down and I was like, okay, well, I've been a stay-at-home mom. I did do some marketing and branding and stuff before in previous jobs. Um, but I really left it up to God and let him lead me to, what was next, and leaned on him through those hard times. And that's kind of where I landed.
I love that. And I know, you and I are in the same coaching program, and
Mhm.
I have watched it's awesome to watch other people's journeys. And even just from, like you said, in Nashville, where, you kind of had this epiphany of like, branding is what I want to do. It is what I want to do. And then going into, starting to get branding clients, because I know we talked a little bit about this last week, but you got a huge branding client.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't stepped into that role,
Hmm.
would that have happened? So that is awesome. And one of the questions I like to ask, because there's imposter syndrome, there's self-doubt, there's all of those things. And I think even just being a female in general, even if you're not in entrepreneurship, you have those things. But I know you've had a lot of challenges. So I want you to share, like, what is one of the biggest challenges you've had stepping into this entrepreneurship role that you've been able to overcome, that could maybe inspire another female that's listening, that's, on the fence, she's working her side hustle, she's putting those stories out there, but like not really stepping into what she's meant to do.
So, going through the divorce, it was a very traumatic divorce. And so coming out of that is like believing in myself. Like, I can take care of a baby. My son was 4 months old. My daughter was 2.5 years old. Um, I can support myself. I can care for them. I can do this. And it's really just like gaining that confidence back in yourself. And I've had to do that in the last like couple months. Like, finally I had like a breakdown to my mom, and I was like, no, I don't want to go back to a 9 to 5. Like, I don't ever want to do that. And I want to work for myself, and this is what I want to do. And actually, I don't know if I even told you this, but I might have told you this at the airport. But the night before, so Thursday night, I was putting my kids to bed before leaving for Nashville, and my kids lost it, broke down, hysterically crying. And I was like, oh my gosh, they've never done this to me before. Normally they're like, bye, mom. I'm going to grandma's. I'm going to Lulu's. Lulu's my mom. And I mean, they were kicking and screaming, and you can't leave, and you're never going to be able to leave me again. And that night I wrote a letter to myself and put it in my notes of what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and how I'm going to make their life better, and never have to choose if I want to leave them unless I absolutely want to. And that's really been my drive. And it's kind of led me down like all these different paths. And like you said, I did just get a really good branding client, and I'm taking all of my knowledge and building a course that hopefully is going to come out in January. I need some time. So building a course for people who are just kind of getting into entrepreneurship and like, hey, I know I want to do this, but I don't know where to start with branding myself. I don't know how to use Canva. I don't know how to design anything. So it's really going to be a very basic beginner course, but there's so many people who need that. Like, I've talked to several like friends and family, and they're like, oh, I didn't even know I was supposed to be doing that, and I'm an entrepreneur. So it's just really teaching them, especially like realtors. Like, my mom's neighbor is a realtor, and I was talking to her the other day, and she's like, we need to have you come talk to the whole like office and teach the office what to do, because especially in the realtor market, especially in Florida, I'm not sure if it's like this everywhere else, is going crazy down here. And so to be able to stand out from everyone else online, you really need to have a strong brand.
Yeah, and I have talked about this a little bit within my community and even on my podcast before, but if you're not getting leads in your business and you're not having referrals and you're not having potential clients, 9 times out of 10, you're not attracting the right people. And that just is because your personal brand isn't strong enough. And I love that you are helping people figure that out, because that's usually, and I can't speak for brick and mortar businesses. I have never owned a brick and mortar location, but I can tell you for an online business, if you are not seeing those referrals, you're either not providing value or you're not branded, one or the other. And I love that you're helping people figure that out, because I think that's why a lot of women quit or burn out, or they stop going for their dream because they feel like it's impossible. And it's probably because their branding is off. So for that. So, well, I am so excited to talk a little bit more about how my audience can connect with you, because I know that you have a community, right? Blue Hazel Entrepreneurs, where they can come in. You talked a little bit a few minutes ago about you are launching a course. So I'm sure you'll drop all the information in there. So tell me a little bit about what you do in your community, how they can connect with you there. And if for anybody that is listening, I will make sure the link is either in the comments or the show notes, depending on where you're watching this. But tell me a little bit about how they can get in the community and what you do in there.
So it's really just going to be a community for, I'm still like putting it all together right now, but it's really going to be for, side note, to learn some tips and tricks, like easy things. I'm all about making life easy. My life is, I've got 5,000 things on my plate and there's one of me. And so I'm all about the tips and the tricks that make life easy. Like, for instance, tricks for Instagram Reels, or how to put your branding on Instagram. Like, if you've ever tried to brand your stories and not make it in Canva, you're like, wait, how do I get this font to match my colors? So It's little tips and tricks like that. I'm also all about health and wellness and fitness. So I do believe, as an entrepreneur, you got to take care of yourself as well. So there'll be a little bit of that in there. It's just going to be building on some fun stuff. And
I love that. Actionable things that they can do. So tips that they can take and put into action. I think we get too many concepts here and there, and we don't get those action steps. So I love that you are, helping people and training people on exactly what they can do, because that's the missing mark. Now, word on the street is you have a branding checklist that could help them get started as well. Is that right?
Yes, it's a personal branding checklist. It's kind of like the 10 things you really need to start thinking about when you want to get into personal branding. So it's a great checklist to just kind of take and digest and say, okay, do I know this? Do I not know this? Do I need to dive more into this? And to get you started. And then I also included in the little checklist, there's a little side note, there's some Canva templates in there, and there's a way to contact me if you have any questions or want to reach out or connect or whatnot. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. And I highly encourage everyone to connect with Liz. Liz, what is the easiest way, or what is your platform of choice for people to connect with you?
I really like Instagram. So my Instagram is at Liz Slade Foreman, and I will spell that for you. It's LizSladeForman. A lot of people misspell my last name. So
I will make sure the direct link is in the show notes as well for anyone who is show notes or in the comments. So check that too to get the direct URL to connect with her. But I will make sure that's in there, because Facebook's my platform of choice. You already know that, but I love that you are taking Instagram by storm. It just fits with the branding, because Instagram you have to be branded on Instagram. The algorithms are different than Facebook, different than other platforms, and you can't succeed without at least having a niche and a brand on Instagram. So I love that you are making that your platform of choice for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that everyone out there goes and finds Liz, connects with her, gets her branding checklist. I'm about to get a copy of it in a second because Lord knows we all have to keep things, keep refreshing. We can't get complacent because things are constantly changing, and we always have to be refreshing our brand and staying up to trend. So follow Liz, find Liz, friend her, and join her community so that you can get in her next challenge and be the first to know when her course drops, because I'm excited for it. I'm excited to watch you grow and prosper, and so excited for you and your new big client that you landed and all of your future clients to come. So
thank you.
This
has been fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And for everyone out there listening, don't forget that if you take a screenshot of this and you tag me on your stories, you can also tag Liz because her username will be in the show notes. But tag us because I do give away a monthly drawing. I do a monthly drawing for my podcast. So this will be on my podcast. Make sure you take a screenshot of you watching and tag us. So until next time, thank you so much, everyone, for watching and or listening, however you're getting this content. And I will see you next Tuesday for Quick Tip Tuesday.